Hello, my name is Peter Roper. I'm the family businessman. I specialise in dealing with family businesses, represent a whole bunch of family businesses with a thing called the family business practice. Today I'm with a very good friend called Ian Priest of Independent Banking Consultants, and we're going to talk about one of the key areas of family business. I say one, but in being unique, we're going to talk about all three, which is filling the fridge, sleeping at night, and working with people you know, like and trust. Hi Ian, how you doing?
Hi Peter, I'm good.
So tell me a bit about your business first of all.
My business, I'm a banker, but I'm better now. I sit the other side of the desk and I help businesses deal with banks, which sounds silly, but actually dealing with banks is a minefield.
I think a lot of family businesses would understand and probably agree with you that. And you've been in the banking world for a long time, haven't you?
31 years the wrong side of the desk and 6 years this side of the desk.
Okay. So, uniquely for you, not surprisingly, you want to talk about all three. Filling the fridge, sleeping at night, and know, like and trust. So,
But they all fit together.
give me an example.
Well, all my business comes from referrals, which has got to be based on know, like and trust. So I've recently dealt with a client in Tamworth. I was introduced by their IFA, who knows me and obviously likes and trusts me, or he wouldn't have put me into one of his best clients.
Sure.
They run an engineering business. They're turning over about 7 million. Lovely business, nice and profitable. Got more work than they can cope with, which, you know, in times of recession, isn't that a great thing?
Mm.
They need to expand. They need another factory to grow into. You'd think their bank would know, like and trust them, having been with the bank for 15 years and have facilities of over £1 million with them. They put their request in for assistance to help with buying the new factory to their bank, who came back after 15 years with less than half a page that basically said, you can't afford it. And it was based on the black and white. He looked at their accounts, looked at their profit figure and went, ooh, they're going to struggle to fund £975,000 based on that.
Mm.
That was as much thought and care that he put into it. So obviously in terms of know, like and trust in respecting his client, he probably hadn't got a great deal. They were just another number and it was too much work and too much grief and he couldn't be bothered to deal with it. A half a page after a 15-year relationship is...
Poor.
Poor's not the word.
Yeah. We'll be polite for video.
Yeah. I went in to see them and just had a chat. Started to talk to them about the business, about themselves, what was important to them. They want to sleep at night. They've got this work. They can't fulfil it because they haven't got enough space in the factory. See if they start losing their best customers, that impacts on filling the fridge. The whole thing all fits together. It didn't take a great... It wasn't rocket science to ask simple questions, the key one being, who owns the existing factory? It turns out their pension fund owned the existing factory.
Right.
And it was worth about £1 million. And the only borrowing it had got was it owed the company £200,000. So for having just that one little bit of information that took me 10 minutes talking to them to get out, opened the door to how to fund this proposition. It was dead easy. We did a mortgage on the existing factory, repaid the £200,000 to the company, so they now got 200 grand towards the purchase.
Yeah, which is what they needed.
Which they needed.
Mm.
But they'd also got it also then gave them 400,000 in cash still in the pension fund, so the pension fund could buy half the new factory.
Right.
And actually so that mortgage was funded out the rent they were already paying. There was zero cost to the company.
I get it.
And they actually only needed a mortgage of £200,000 to help them buy the new factory, which the business could afford very easily. The way my business works is we have to make it easy for bankers. We have to serve it up to them on a plate. So effectively, we do their job for them. We write the credit paper that they should write if they've got the time, the knowledge, the inclination sometimes to actually get off their rear ends and do it.
Mm.
So I wrote it all up, I put it all together, and I handed it to the incumbent bank and the other high street banks on a plate and said, there you go, it's dead easy, all it needs is half an hour of your time to read it and then tell me what your best pricing is to put this deal together. You know what he came back with? I've already looked at this, they can't afford it.
Really?
Yeah.
Good.
Now, in terms of, this client, been with that bank for 15 years. Where's the know, like and trust? How can they sleep at night with a relationship like that? It was just appalling. I went back to him and said, you clearly haven't read what I've sent you. And then he graciously came back and said, I suppose if you do it that way, they can afford it.
So are they staying with the bank?
Actually, at the end of the day, they did.
Right.
But it was not because of no like and trust. It was partly better than the devil you know.
Yeah.
And actually, the bank got into such a panic when they realised what a pig's ear they'd made of it. In fact, they admitted they'd messed up big style. They offered some seriously stupid pricing to the client to keep him.
Okay.
So the client's now got a mortgage that they can afford easily at a very, very, very attractive interest rate. And because I'm working for the client, not the bank, I squeezed them some more on the invoice finance facility and managed to save them £40,000 a year on the cost of that as well.
Wow.
Again, that emphasises that banks don't give clients the best deal. They give them the best deal they think they can get away with. If we can take 40 grand out of the cost of their invoice finance, the bank had been milking that.
Yeah. And the relationship is never going to be the same, is it?
No, it's not.
No, it's bound not to be. So, yeah, as you say, it's now a marriage of convenience, which
the
is
client
never good.
now comes to me for anything finance
Yes.
related or any concerns or queries, and they don't go to the bank manager.
Hmm.
He is just a third-rate supplier.
Yeah. And it will always be that way.
And will always be that.
So, if I recap again a second there, you're demonstrating all three areas, aren't you? About
In effect.
they needed to fill the fridge,
Yeah.
and the only way they were going to continue to do that was to expand. They had the ability to do it, but hadn't got the wherewithal to do it.
Yeah.
They worked with somebody, or were referred by somebody with no like and trust, which is how you became involved with it, and that means they now sleep at night.
Yeah.
So, if I was to say to you, from your own personal perspective, from your own business, which one of those three works best for you?
Oh, boy. No, like and trust is the core of my business because all my work comes from referral. But the whole point of the business is to help customers sleep at night and fill the fridge.
And probably in that order.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better in that order. Ian, thanks for your time. I really appreciate it.
Pleasure.
And so I hope that was useful for you. I think it's really interesting to look at the whole area of all three keys of fill the fridge, sleep at night, no like and trust. And I think that really aptly demonstrates family businesses work differently. We think differently. We act differently. And it's the difference between what I would call corporatised thinking, which is what Ian so beautifully demonstrated, and how we actually think, which is, well, hang on a minute, there's a way of doing something. Let's look at it in a more proactive way. And I think that's an excellent story for that. So if you want to know any more about me, the Family Businessman, just go familybusinessman.com. If you want to know more about the Family Business Practice, go on familybusinesspractice.com. But for now, thanks very much indeed for listening. Thank you.